Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Anything you need to know about the channel, you can find in the description box. And the reason why I wanted to mention that is because this is a shadow healing channel. So I look at your spiritual blocks. I look at the karmic themes that play out within your life. So do I look at what's going to happen within your relationship, how your person thinks? Yes, but what's most important is to look at your spiritual blocks. Why is this person coming into your life? From a spiritual perspective. Realize you're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. You're supposed to be learning. You're not separate from the universe, separate from God, separate from unconditional love, which is all the same thing, by the way. And the way that we realize that we need healing is when we get triggered. See, we all have wounds. You wouldn't be incarnated on the physical plane. You wouldn't be listening to this. Everybody on the planet has wounds because it's part of our soul's evolution, right? How would you learn? You wouldn't learn through staying up in the angelic realms where everything is just peaceful and of unconditional love. Some people don't even believe in heaven or hell. And understand some people, again, believe that life itself can be heaven or it can be hell, depending on your level of consciousness, which is kind of what I believe. I believe that we're down here in physical form to learn that we're not separate from love, but we live many, many lifetimes. And we get soulmates and karmic lessons to teach us so that we can evolve into the highest state of consciousness. So eventually we don't have to incarnate here on the physical plane. So the reason why we do these readings is not to manipulate the other person. A lot of times people get readings because they want to know how they can change a person. Now understand, if this is a karmic relationship, the person's supposed to be in your life. It's a divine connection. That doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to date this person. What it means is that this person was supposed to come into your life, and they were supposed to come into your life to teach you about yourself. So it doesn't mean that it's an easy relationship either. Now, like I said, we want to learn so that we can attract what it is. See, on a subconscious level, you know what your blocks are. You know what your triggers are. You don't consciously remember them. That's why the universe brings you a person that triggers you and makes you aware of it. Reparenting these spiritual wounds that your person triggers within you allows you then to attract exactly what you want, because you're not holding any vibrational dissonance to what it is that you're trying to attract. See, when we hold energy that's a vibrational dissonance, we tend to get in our own way. And then over time, due to the karmic lessons that we don't never learn, because we keep reliving the same type of experience, which is called a karmic loop. It's a karmic theme that we feel like we keep reliving, whether it's within our relationships or within finance. It keeps us in a place of disempowerment. It keeps us in a place of fear. Well, when you keep living those type of experiences, clearly you're going to feel like you can't have. And then what happens is, on the subconscious level, we detach from those aspects of self. We reject them and we make a persona. Now, normally, people that don't know us don't know the difference between whether that's really who we are or whether that's a persona. Sometimes, if you know a person and you know them really well, you can tell like what is what. You usually can tell when a person gets triggered because there's an emotional reaction. Now, with a soulmate twin flame, sometimes the person doesn't want to show feelings. So, but you can still feel it. And even if it's not a soulmate twin flame, if you're a highly sensitive person, you can still feel it. So again, the reason why is because we're energy beings and everything is made up of energy, including your consciousness. And the energy that you hold if it's at a lower state consciousness, is going to distort your perceptions about yourself and the world around you. And then your behaviorisms and actions and habits are going to be in alignment with the things that you fear more than with who your true self is. Because again, the mask represents a false identity. The ego made that, but the ego is derived from fear. It believes that the part of ourselves that we rejected is not good enough. And we don't feel safe on an emotional level or psychological level to expose that part of ourselves. So just because we create a persona doesn't mean that it's not still there, or that the energy isn't still the same. The energy is still the same because you're an energy being. And again, you created that persona because out of fear, because you rejected it. So again, you're going to attract what you are afraid of. You are going to attract what you don't want more than what you do want. So the reason why I channeled this now is because shadow readings might tell you that, again, about your person, but it wouldn't be uncommon to see a bunch of sabotaging behaviors. It wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of negative emotions, because when you're dealing with people that have shadows that are unhealed, over time that energy attracts more like-minded energy, and when I say like-minded, that means people that again will create or show them that lesson and trigger those same emotions until they finally integrate, until we can finally integrate them, right? Sorry about that. Scared the hell out of me for a second. Almost jumped out of because I was in the zone. So anyway, so this is why we want to, again, do these readings. We always want to do the readings because in healing ourselves, we actually change the person that we're dealing with if they're imbalanced, because it creates a new awareness within inside them. You're attracting people to you that have the same wound. They just don't channel out the same way. And like I said, if it's a soulmate and a twin flame and any type of soulmate, they're definitely coming into your life to teach you, to heal you. So it's really important the way that you're going to view the connection. Because if you view it like, oh, it's a horrible thing, what'll happen is, or that it's a difficult thing, what'll happen is that the relationship will be difficult. So remember, it's not about changing them, it's about changing you. We utilize this information so you can dive deep within inside yourself to see what you need to heal within inside yourself so you can attract what you attract. It's a bonus if this person changes. Do they change? Sometimes? Sometimes they do. If it's a real soulmate, twin flame, and they came into your life at the right time, at the right place. And if it's a divine connection, believe me, they come in at the right time. Not your time, the right time, divine time. And that's when they're going to be ready and you're going to be ready. And so you may be someone that's like, I'm ready now, and they're not here. Well, it's a divine connection. So if they're not in your life, take it that you're not ready yet, even if you feel you are ready. So we tend to focus on, no, but that person is doing X, Y, Z. That person, it doesn't matter. You're getting your person that is evolving. They have spiritual lessons to learn. May not be the same spiritual lessons, all of them, but again, the vibrational energy is the same. And so there may be mirroring, there may not be mirroring. Now, I don't know if I said this or not, but if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you want to enter into winning a free reading, you have to do that anyway with me. And you actually have to also write the word of the day, and the word of the day is whatever word that I say within the video. The word of today is going to be obscurity. Obscurity. So we're going to see how obscurity is tied into your reading. So what is obscurity? It means little. So I could see that maybe again someone breadcrumbed you, maybe someone doesn't give a lot. People that have root chakra imbalances tend to be, very stingy with the amount of energy that they have. Also obscurity, if someone has a block within how much they give, well, understand too that means usually that they're not strong within themselves, and that every other chakra is going to be out of balance. Now, the reason why I talk about the spiritual centers known as the chakras is because everywhere where you have a chakra, there's an endocrine gland, and your chakras represent the psychological and emotional aspects of yourself, which is spiritual. And those spiritual aspects, when they're out of balance, your behaviors are going to be either too much or not enough. And when we see obscurity, it's again, we see not enough. So you're dealing with a person that has a root chakra imbalance. So we know automatically that you're dealing with someone that's emotionally not mature. We know that you're dealing with someone that's not strong within themselves. We know that we're dealing with someone that comes from a very limited consciousness. So they're very narrow-minded. And that means that they're usually coming from a fear-based consciousness, which inevitably, if you're dealing with them, you then would be dealing with the same energy, having the same energy, have the same energy in yourself. And this person is bringing out this energy more because they're not really giving you any type of stability, is the energy that I'm feeling. Now, let's see how it's playing out. And also know just because it plays out a certain way doesn't mean that they don't feel feelings for you. Remember, spiritual is not the same as psychological. I mean, it is the same as psychological, but it's not the same as intention is what I'm meaning to say. A psychological reversal is when a person has feelings and they breadcrumb and they give nothing. They do the opposite, but they like that person. They have a block, and that block has very little to do with that person. However, if your person has strong feelings for you and isn't confident, well, again, this is what would trigger them to give less. The psychological reversal is I'm going to get in my own way and do something that I feel is going to help me, but instead what it does is it sabotages what I'm trying to do. And so over time, that would clearly make a person not feel good about themselves, right? Not trust themselves. So first card out is the same divine energy flows in each of us. This energy is the catalyst to our reunion. We just need to allow this energy to work its magic. There are messages being exchanged through music and movies. Listen carefully and trust what you hear. So I'm feeling as if, again, you're connected to someone that knows that you're a soulmate and to them, and they know that they're a soulmate to you. That there is, however, there's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of, and there would be if there's a root chakra imbalance with your person. You wouldn't, again, attract a person that has a root chakra imbalance unless you had a root chakra imbalance. Now, you might not have as big of a root chakra imbalance. There are some people that have root chakra imbalances that suffer so much from anxiety and depression. They're never in their body. They're up in their head, which they have mind chatter all the time about their relationship. They don't trust themselves. They're nervous. And I'm feeling like your person is more of that, where you're Taurus, I feel like you're more I'm strong within myself. However, if I get around a person that is imbalanced like that, where they keep projecting who they are, I don't feel like I'm strong enough to deal with that energy, which is why you separated from this person, because you were like, yeah, I could go along with it, but it would have affected my energy too much, which means that you care about yourself. And I don't believe that this person felt that way, but I believe that this separation made them realize you're important, but I also feel that it made them realize that every time that they resist, they actually push you away, that they have anxiety around this relationship, which is giving you anxiety. And I think that they're realizing what they're doing from this separation, which spiritual relationships, connections that are difficult, that's what they do. They make us think. I'm conflicted about whether I have what it takes to be your partner. So really, again, this comes back to their own self-esteem, having absolutely nothing to do with you, which is exactly what I felt. Because they know on some level that they like being the way that they are. They know that there are subconscious fears affecting our ability to attract love and abundance. The universe is helping us make them conscious so we can easily attract what we want, including each other, was the card that actually just fell out. And so again, there's an internal knowing that your person has. And I'm believing that you have that same feeling. They wouldn't be able to feel a comfortability, like, I feel like one day that this is going to work out. I don't know how. I feel like they've let go of trying to control the outcome, which is actually a good thing, because having a root chakra in balance, we tend to like to do things our way. We want to control things. Why? Because we don't feel safe. And your person that doesn't have good relationships, hasn't had good relationships, starting with the ones that the family that he grew up in or she grew up in. So again, the subconscious blocks come from, again, living in experiences that, taught us that we were not safe, that we couldn't truly be who we wanted to be. So what has happened is your person overcompensates within really how they feel, which is what I had channeled to begin with. And I knew that because, again, the channel always says that, okay, 2 cards fell out. I replay our conversations over and over. So if you think that this person doesn't listen to you, they do. You were the best thing in my life. And what they're realizing is now that they messed up the relationship, that you are important to them. But people that have root chakra imbalances, unfortunately, they have a lot of triggers within relationships. They get caught up in the triggers. They don't enjoy the relationship while the relationship is going on. It actually, when the relationship is over and all the emotions have dissipated, because again, we don't feel that emotional charge after a while. That's when your person's realizing that they were pretty much toxic, that they breadcrumbed, that they didn't give enough. They're actually looking at their behavior. And what they're saying is, it really wasn't you, it was me, that I was triggered. And what this is saying this whole time is that they're realizing that they have triggers and subconscious blocks. And on some level, there's an internal knowing that they know that you're supposed to be in their life. Do they know the exact role? No, but are they passionate about you? They have feelings for you. It shows that they have an unconditional love for you. I hope that you can forgive me one day. So again, they have anxiety about how they breadcrumbed and how they didn't give anything. And they're kind of stuck in, like, again, looking at what didn't work. And looking at their low self-esteem, still coming from that. I'm starting to understand our connection. And that's what I said before. They have this realization and understand it's because they still have feelings. They can still feel you. Now, if we have root chakra imbalances, we came from an environment that didn't teach us unconditional love. Your person, okay, didn't feel strong within that. You didn't feel strong within that. I feel you even though we're apart. Again, soulmate, twin flame journey is, again, what teaches us that unconditional love. There is no time, no space. This person is, again, from your past life. You're going to feel them. They're a soulmate, twin flame. They're a divine connection. They're supposed to be in your life. You know, they're starting to understand. It doesn't mean it's an easy one, but it's going to require them to step it up, and they don't really know because they were like kind of comfortable being at low vibe. Let's face it, right? When you have a root chakra imbalance, we tend to be tired and lethargic. It's just what happens because your adrenals are that endocrine gland that's associated with the root chakra. So we can see how the mind goes on and on and on. Your person went up in their head and gave so little, and you know, obscurity is all about not giving anything. So, you know, which is why they're conflicted, because it's going to require them to change. You have to give to this relationship. And they're like, I've never done that before. It doesn't, it's more like, I feel like it doesn't feel right, which healing doesn't, because it's going to require you to do what you normally haven't done. So this is a spiritual divine connection. Your person didn't want to do those things. They came in giving a little bit, resisting. And I believe that you have gone through enough of your bad relationships that you were like, knew what to look for. And so you never really fell for it. And the challenge is what kept this person hooked, because they believed that you were eventually going to give to them. I also believe that obviously there's a chemistry here. There always is with soulmate twin flame connection, but there's also a little bit of competition, a little bit of, I'm going to get you to do what I want you to do. I want things on my the way that I want them to play out. And they wound up investing a lot more time, a lot more energy into you than what they thought. Now you might be like, well, they didn't give me any attention. Well, the amount of thought that they put towards you, even in separation, is considered energy, because it's where you put your focus. Over time, focus of something that you care about enough to keep focusing on grows emotion. And this person didn't realize this. But they never gave you enough, so they didn't really get to know you, didn't take the time to get to know you. They wanted to control it. I wish things could be different. They wish that they could turn back the clock and be different. I'll tell you that. And they also wish that they don't have to come back and apologize. They wish that they could do like a do-over. That came flying out. Let's see what it is. I regret lying to you. Yeah, they wish that they could turn back the clock. And see, they were a player. This person gave such little energy because they were a player. They didn't want to get to know anybody, it looks like, when you met them. And then that's why they tried to control the situation. And so they didn't really, I believe that your person never even believed in love before. They believed in connection, they believed in passion, they believed in sex, but they didn't really believe in unconditional love. They thought that they could live without love. They didn't think that they needed love. They thought that that didn't have them. But they're like, what they learned is that I love you unconditionally. What this again, and that's what this connection was all about. Because you guys still are not together, but what they're realizing is that they still have so much feeling for you. However, I'm like a little bit afraid to see. I want to be like, okay, so what was the spirit, the wound that was awakened within you, the inner child wound that was awakened within you? What was the shadow awakened with you? I want to know what the trigger is. I want to see what their true intention is, what your true intention is, rather. And like whether you want to, whether this could even be resolved at this point. Isolation. So this person gave so little, like you feel like they like isolated you from their life, that they didn't give you. And you might have also felt that way growing up, like that you didn't really fit in. I'm feeling like for many of you, Taurus, you just always felt different. Many highly sensitive people do. The people that are sensitive, they think a lot, they're very emotional, and it doesn't mean that they're off. What it means is they're just deep people. Like some of you are musicians, some of you are poets, some of you are writers, you deep thinkers. So it's again, when you get hurt, you isolate. So this person not included you also made you feel isolated. When we feel different and excluded, we don't really feel safe. So again, that's a root chakra imbalance. Now I want to look and see, that was the inner child wound, by the way. I want to see what the samskara is, which is the shadow. Regret, like regret giving time and energy and expectation to a person that hasn't come through. Where I feel like you've had expectation before and wound up with regretting it because it was time that you could have put into meeting new people, growing yourself, doing something, time again wasted on somebody that fear. But understand you did learn. It's not like you didn't learn. And also I feel like you felt like toyed with a little bit. Like when a person breadcrumbs and then they act like they don't care. And then it takes them, you know, this person has not come back yet and said that they're sorry. They haven't done any of that yet. What it is you're in separation right now because of what they did. They're realizing the importance of this connection. Nostalgia, and they're in a place of, again, reliving whatever nice memories you had. I believe that you were in this person's life for a long time, but it's not like you gave a ton of time. But nevertheless, they are thinking about you. They're thinking about the times that you shared. And I believe that, again, you just felt comfortable to them enough that you were in their life and there was like a chemistry there. It's not like there wasn't. It's just your person at that time did not really want to be in any type of committed relationship. They were kind of protecting their heart, but it was also the place that they were in. So now, again, they're in regret, like I said, and that's why there's also a lot of nostalgia, because that's what happens when we're in regret. There's a sense of remembering a lot of the good times, seeing what their life, they want to see what their life would look like without you. And now that they see, they don't like it. So they're, again, now focused more on all the memories that you have, the laughs that you had, the fact that you were a real person. And I believe that because there is a soulmate twin flame connection, that you can't stay mad at this person. Unfortunately, like a lot of times we want to stay mad at this person because we're like, I don't like the way that you treated me, you breadcrumbed me. But what happens is that time passes. And so when they say time heals, it's that you can't stay mad. There's an unconditional love there. And so that's really the nostalgia for you. So there's a little bit of mirroring energy going on right now. But it would make you not present, not in the moment, if you're, again, thinking about all those times. And it would keep you in a place of regret and then feeling abandoned. Which, understand, if this person didn't give a lot and hasn't come back, you would feel like abandoned, because you could feel that there was a connection. And I, like I said, I just feel like they took a game too far. They wanted to control the situation by giving you a little bit And what happened is it backfired because you felt abandoned. But what I see is that there's still feelings. There's still feelings. So I want to just look and see whether spirit will tell us whether they're going to do anything, whether they're going to say whether they're going to do something. I don't deserve you. You are too good for me. I took you for granted and treated you badly. I'm sorry. And that is what I was saying, that they were in regret and they don't know whether or not that they can step it up, because they know now that they have to come in and really do a lot to fix what they didn't do. Like, it always seems like this person, again, has an excuse. I want to show you who I really am. I'm ready to bring down my walls and share my true feelings. So I feel like eventually they might, and that they do. Down deep inside, they do want to show you who they are. However, there is a part of them that is like, I know that I don't deserve you. I know that I have to come in and do a lot of work to repair this. And it looks like they're going to do it. But like I said, they know as far as right now, they can't just show up and be like, hey, how is it up? And pick it up where they left it off. And that's why they're not in contact with you right now. They're still working out like how to fix this, how to heal this, how you're going to fit in their life. They are realizing that they're not going to be able to come in and just like clean this up with a 1, 2, 3, that they're going to have to put effort in. They don't know what this is going to look like. They're terrified of rejection. They're terrified of putting in the work and then having you reject them. So, but in the end, they're going to do it, because down deep inside, they can't seem to move forward. So how, and that's really what twin flame relationship is. It requires us to change. We don't want to change because, again, it makes us have to, be uncomfortable. It makes us have to do something that we wouldn't have to do. And in this situation, it's where your person like needs to come in and actually give. And I don't feel like that they're used to doing that for anybody. Again, there was a lot of player energy here, wanting to control, and what it is that you weren't having it. So how does the universe tell us to deal with a person like this? For those of you that want to be in a relationship and want to give this person a chance. Unconditional love. My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open my eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in everything. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So again, this person didn't treat you right. We know that. They breadcrumbed you. They undermined you. They didn't treat you the way that they should have. And so what has happened is that you didn't put up with it. There is regret. You did feel abandonment, which I feel like you have felt that energy before. And at the end of the day, it's going to require you to do unconditional love. You have unconditional love for this person, a twin flame soulmate. You have unconditional love for it. There's a runner and a chaser. Both parties tend to want to control the situation. Both parties, that type of intense love is terrifying, because there is a sense that you lose control. This person, again, was always protecting their heart, but also was a player and enjoyed that life. Wasn't looking to catch feelings. They caught feelings with you. They didn't realize that till you were gone. That's pretty much what's happened. And now that they realize that they fucked the whole situation up with you, they don't really know how to fix it. They have so much thought about how to fix it and thought how to come back so many times that they don't know what to do. So they've put it in God's hands. And so now what they're going to do is they're going to, they're in their healing. I feel like they'll know when But do they know now when they're coming back? No. They know that they want to, though, and they know that they will make it happen. And so for you, it's about not paying attention to what it looks like, how it looks like, why the person is doing what they're doing. You focus on unconditional love. You have unconditional love for this person. This person has unconditional love for you. And at the end of the day, isn't that what matters? Not what the person did do, how they did do it. I mean, when they met you, they didn't know who you were. Yes, they were attracted to you, but they were a lot of other people in their life before they met you. So, like, there's an essence, like, you were hurt because you had invested a lot of time. This person made you feel undervalued. This person, again, made you feel like you weren't important. But that was mainly because you were came into this connection over giving, expecting too much, regardless of the fact that this person had player energy, because they came on smooth, and again, and there was a connection. It took you walking away for them to realize, and again, make them change a little bit. And at the end of the day, what you're learning is forgiveness, really, because by having boundaries, you display that you do have unconditional love for yourself, and you do have unconditional love for this person. You're angry with this person. And that's, again, why Spirit's saying is focus back on unconditional love. People are allowed to make mistakes. It's not about what they do. It's about how you handled what you did. So no one can make you feel any way, and that you shouldn't feel abandoned, and you shouldn't feel, because you took care of yourself. At the end of the day, that's what this person realized, is that they made a mockery a little bit out of themselves, and now it's going to take them a little bit of time to get back to you, because they have their tail between their legs. They have to change, and they're still up in their head a lot about it. But nevertheless, the relationship is all about healing, and that's what it's doing. It's healing, because maybe you have people in your life, Taurus, like parents or an aunt or an uncle or a sister or brother or a friend or somebody, that it's Spirit is saying, like, you never learned forgiveness. You haven't learned that lesson, or unconditional love. That unconditional love requires forgiveness. And when we get stuck in that, it does us more harm. It plays out as obscurity within our life when we have blocks to forgiveness. So I'm going to leave that there, Taurus. You let me know whether you resonated with this. And if you did, you're going to write the word obscurity in your comment bar. Now, you'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, you and I would just correspond back and forth on YouTube, figure out the best day, time that works for both of us, that I can give you your free reading. And until next time, be true to you. Now, if you're looking for shadow healing, definitely check out the description box. It'll take you right to my Patreon. You'll see my $7.99, my $9.99, and my $20 subscriptions. All offer inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and healing modalities such as breath work, meditation, EFT, some NLP, and many more to help you heal the effects of trauma. Healing has never been easier or more affordable than it is today. Like I said, the internet's a beautiful thing, because it's difficult to be consistent, but if you want to change your life, you have to do the shadow healing, and you need to be consistent in order to do it. And you don't want it to be like a miserable experience. It could actually be fun. And you might not even have certain shadows, but you'll learn. And you'll be able to help somebody else, because this work is intuitive, and we all are intuitive. That's that spirit part of self. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.